So rule number one for eyeliner is never let it smell your fear. Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Remy Reyes, and today we are taking the steps and walking towards fall. This is something that was really kind of inspired by the season change, as my last video was more of a like summery kind of, maybe a little bit of that fall time kind of coming into it. But we're using the Modern Renaissance palettes, which I have never used before, ever, not even just on YouTube, but just like ever. And so I'm really excited because it is the ultimate fall palette. It definitely has a lot of those nice tones to it, a lot of those fall colors. So without further ado, let's jump into it and let me show you how I got this look. So for this tutorial, we are going to start out with our full face done, in the sense that we're having already foundation on as well as our brows. And to start my contouring, I am going to go in with the Too Faced Medium Matte Deep Bronzer. And with this, I'm going to start chiseling out the imperfections, which are still not even imperfections. So I'm going to sink in my cheeks just a tiny bit, bring it in here, and as well as follow the natural hairline on my face. And then I am going to bring it down to this jaw area, and then bring it even into more of my neck. So after that, I am going to go in with 2 more bronzers in order to really deepen up that contour, as well as give myself that like glow, because the Too Faced is matte. So I'm going to first go in with the Bronzing Powder by H&M in the color Dark Tan. And then I'm going to go in with the Wet n Wild Starlight Bronze. And these are going to deepen up and darken, and as well as highlight. So I'm putting those two in exactly the same areas I already put the Too Faced Medium Bronzer. Next, I'm going to go in with the NARS Orgasm Blush. This is more of a goldy rose gold type of texture and tone. So with this, it really goes well with anyone's skin color and skin tones, which is great. But it also is a very dewy type of look, so it's really nice on the skin. And since I'm going for a dewier finish, that's exactly where I want to go with. Now what we're going to do is we are going to bake a pie, and your face is a pie. So I'm going to go in with the Kryloan Anti-Shine, and what we're going to do is I'm going to take more of a flat concealer foundation brush, and I'm going to dip a lot of it into the powder and make sure the powder is like nice and packed on the brush. And then I'm just going to follow from the lows of my ear right in the middle all the way into the corner of my lip with the powder, and we're just going to leave it there. So we're adding on a lot of powder, enough that you can see the crease just a tiny bit. And then we'll come back to this in just a little bit. We're going to let it about 5 to 10 minutes or so go by before brushing it off. Next, what we're going to do is I'm going to go in with my Temptu Pro Concealer Wheel. And with this, I'm going to use the lighter color as a highlight tone. So this is going to help accentuate and really carve out the natural shape of my brow, as well as help with my highlight that I'm going to give my brow just a little bit later. But I'm going to go in with the lightest color and follow the bottom line and shape of my brow just from top to end. And then I'm going to make sure those lines are pretty well blended out, even from each corner to corner, and then even downwards into my lid area. So now that about 5 or so minutes has passed by and you feel good about your baking your pie, I'm going to take a very clean fluffy brush and just dust off that extra remaining powder off my face. And then you should see your line is just a little bit more contoured and a little bit more sharp, and there's no darkness down in this area region here. Like, you don't got a burnt crust no more. You got like nice golden crust. Now, using only the Modern Renaissance palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills, we are going to create the ultimate walking into fall look. So I'm going to go in with color Burnt Orange, and I'm going to make a powdered cut crease. So it's going to be necessarily a cut crease, but it's not going to be like one of those sharp, like bam, I'm going to cut your face type cut crease. So what I like to do is I like to take a crease brush from Sephora, which they're pretty hard and rounded out brushes, and I like to find the natural shape and indent in my eyelid. So that's where the actual line will be. So I like to look up and really focus on that half circle, and then bring it outwards just a tiny bit past my eyebrow. So we're going to do that on both sides, and then go ahead and make sure that you're blending out your lines. So that's super important, and you know, because remember, hashtag blend please. Nobody wants unblended eyes. That's just, it's a mess. It's a mess, girl. You mess. So still making sure that your lines are nice and blended, we're going to go ahead and use Venetian Red from the same palette. And we're going to keep the same shape, so not touching any of our lid or our brow bone. And we are going to create that cut crease and making everything just a little bit darker. So sometimes needing to go back and forth with the colors that we've already used in our lid. So we're going to go on with red ochre, and we're going to focus more on the ends of our cut crease. So this is going to be in just this area, and so it kind of might like look a little bit funky right now, but don't worry, it'll get fixed. So what we're going to do is really make sure that we're focusing just a little bit on the end, and if we need to go back in with like the burnt orange in colors, that we're going to go back in and make sure that everything is blended and it's not just like a pink line kind of going in and like a weird looking thing happening to your face. Now, staying in the same modern Renaissance palette, we're going to use the color Primavera for our lid color. So now, I'm again following the natural arch and shape that we followed before to make our cut crease, but now for our lid. So it's just this half circle and then bringing it out just to touch the end of where we stopped with all of our other colors in our creases before. So we want to make sure that it's nice and pigmented and very much rounded out. Moving on to our brow bone highlight, I'm going to use the color Vermeer from the same palette. This is going to follow just whatever is left on your eyelid, which is basically the only area here is now the brow bone area where we had our concealer. And so we're going to just put on Vermeer and then make sure it's nice and highlighted and really pigmented and nothing's going too far into this crease area. So it's kind of to help shape and form everything and really accentuate your brows. So now we are going to create some winged bold eyeliner. So I like to focus on bringing out my wings from the corner of my eyes and then connecting it and slowly but surely moving forward. Not letting the liner actually smell my fear, just really focusing on not breathing. I'm just kidding, that's a total joke. Now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to redirect you to another YouTube video that I did in the past, and it is how to wing liner. So I know I talk about this liner video all the time. Go watch it. It's great. It's short, it's simple, it's sweet, and it's super easy to do. So I'll link that down below. So next step is that we are going to apply some false lashes. So I do have lash extensions, however, I am letting them kind of fall out on their own before I get them taken off because I am getting eye surgery coming up really, really soon, which I'm really excited about. I am putting on Wispies Lashes, which I've gotten from Naimies, which is based out of LA. And with that, my easiest step is that I like to look at my lash line and then place my lashes from the top, putting them right directly on my line, especially because I can't wink. So that's a struggle. If you can't close one eye and look at it with the other, like, you're just a mess. So I'm a mess when it comes to lashes. And then I like to use a very sharp tool in order to really get in, which people use tweezers as well, in order to push that into your lash line under your lid rather than laying it on top of your lid. I'm going to go back into my Temptu SB Pro Concealer Wheel, and I'm going to use the second to darkest colors, which are a little bit lighter than my skin tone, and I'm going to use this for my concealer under eyes. So I'm bringing it in all the way up to the temple area, bringing it down, not enough to touch the blush and the bronzer that I have going on here. And then I'm going to blend that in with a beauty blender. And then after that, I'm going to go back in with my Kryloan Anti-Shine, and this is going to set my concealer in place as well as make it anti-shiny. Now for creating our bottom liner, I'm going to go back in with the Modern Renaissance palette, and I'm going to mix the color Venetian Red and the red ochre, which we've already put on our top lids, and I'm going to use a Morphe S20 brush in order to really create that smoky lash line. After that, I'm going to go in with the NYC 24-Hour Black Eyeliner. And this is going to be all the way around my waterline, which is the inside part of your eye, and really darken that area up just a tiny bit. To create my mascara for my bottom lashes, I'm not going to put anything on the top, but I am going to do Smashbox Full Exposure in the color Jet Black and lightly brush over my bottom lashes. The reason why I'm not touching my top is because I do still have lash extensions, and that's really uncalled for lashes, or lash extensions, I should say. For my lips, I'm going to go in with the Lorac Alter Ego Lip Gloss in the color CEO, because we are girl bossing it right now. And so I'm going to put on the lip gloss as naturally and as easy as anyone else would put on lip gloss, and make sure that you really get enough on there to see the pigment. Dusting over just a couple of areas, I'm going to go in with the Makeup Forever Compact Shine On in the color Flesh. And this is going to go just on the highs of my cheekbones, a little bit down the bridge of my nose, as well as right under my chin for a very, very light highlight. So now what we're going to do to create our final step is I'm going to go in with the Violet Voss, and this is Glitta. So I'm going to go in with Copperella, which is a nice tone that goes really well with the Modern Renaissance palette, and this is going to be our highlight in our tear duct area. So it's going to go right here in the middle of our eyes. We're just pressing in the glitter. I'm not using any type of glitter glue, anything like that, but it does drop, so you might see a little bit of sparkle later on. It might catch it in the light, but you know what? It's a-okay, because we're disco ball people. We're disco ball. Alright guys, there it is. There is our footsteps to fall. We are super inspired by the weather, everything changing. We are also moving into the fall, which means that we are almost to a year on YouTube. This time last year I was getting ready to post my first video in like just a couple weeks. So it's crazy how far we have gone in this whole journey together. Also, before you're leaving, make sure you're giving this video a thumbs up, as well as subscribing and liking my channel, because I am doing a giveaway at 500 subscribers. So I'm super excited, and I hope you guys are just as excited for that. Make sure you are hashtagging Rainy Makeup and I Do Hair and Makeup Artistry. That way we are seeing all the inspired souls out there in the world, as I would love that very much. So until next week, I will see you then.